Hello darklings, my name is Sanniz, I'm a Swedish Eldergoth, and today we're gonna do a tag I got from Lady Rowena. But first we take the intro and see you soon.
Sanniz, a Swedish Eldergoth, not just a one box.
Hello darklings, my name is Sanniz, I'm a Swedish Eldergoth, and today I thought we should do a tag, but because I don't have the questions, we're gonna have to listen to my friend Lady Rowena in UK when she did her tag with true or false tag, Goth Edition. And yeah, I'm gonna put links to that video and links of course to Lady Rowena's channel, so go there and subscribe and support too, because it's a very awesome YouTuber too. So let's start. Now we're gonna see what she said, because I don't remember all the questions, but we're gonna stop and pause every time it comes. And her video is not that long, so don't be worried, it's gonna take too long this time. So we start.
For you to get to know me a little better, let's do true or false tag, Goth Edition. Now, to forgive me, I have to have all the questions written down. I'll include them in the description for the YouTubers I'm going to tag afterwards. 1. I love cheesy romance films. 99% of the time, that is false, but the 1%...
And here I should say, no, I'm not directly into romance, but I have a few moments, and when I was a little child, I loved Against All Odds. But that was back then, and I don't know if I'm gonna do that too. But of course, there are some type of things that goths can find romantic, but I don't think the main people think it's the same. But it's with vampires and that type of love, or horror movies more likely, not directly romantic. But then you got movies like Edward Scissorhands, so of course that is one thing. So we're gonna continue to see what or listen to what Lady Rowena thinks.
And at the time, it's true, is when I've freshly broken up with someone. Yes, I do fall into the cliche of watching rom-coms back to back straight after a breakup. For some reason, it makes me feel better. Number 2, I always remember to wash my makeup off. It's not that I...
No, not always, but most of the time. When I was younger, it was much more easy to go after the club and go to bed because you were so late at home. But nowadays, at least I try to take the most of it. Sometimes I maybe don't have the energy to take every glue things from the eyelash glue and that type of things, because that's stuck to the skin very hard. And if you use eyelash glue, you know what I talk about. So yeah, most of the times I do take it off nowadays. When I was younger, completely different story. So now we continue.
Forget. It's just that I'm too tired to. Honestly though, I do endeavour to, and I never truly forget, even when I lie down with makeup on. I know I should do it. Number 3, I sleep with plushies. Doesn't everyone?
No, I don't sleep with plushies because it's not enough space for it, because we have pillows, a lot of pillows in the bed. And Trevor don't want to have a lot of plushies in the bed too, but we do have 2 plushies above the bed instead, in form of 2 devils. If I remember, I can take a picture and include it somewhere. But no plushies in our bed at least.
Sleep with plushies? 4, I wear non-black pyjamas. Well, technically...
Not always, and mostly have nighties. Of course, during winter time it's very good to have a PJ. And I do have a complete black one too, but most of my things have some type of patterns on it, but I do have some nighties that is completely black too.
That is true and false. False in that I don't really wear pyjamas. I wear stretchy leggings and t-shirts and use that as nightwear, or satin nighties or slips. True in that I do gravitate to wine red or burgundy when the mood takes me. Number 5.
I don't have that type of thing because I can't really drink anything anyway, so that one is a big no too.
I listened to a disbanded boy band. Honestly, my music...
No, it was a long time ago, and I think it was back in the days when you have those popular boy bands, especially from UK and Ireland, but that was more likely because the most of my mainstream friends back then, because I do have mainstream friends back then too. they did like to listen to like Backstreet Boys and that type of things, especially during Halloween when we did these funny things when we went out dressed up in Halloween clothes and that type of things, and they started to play that thing and we started to dance a little like they do in Thriller for Michael Jackson, you know.
Tastes are so eclectic, and I do tend to revisit ones from decades ago. I'm sure there are some all-male disbanded bands in the mix. Number 6, I think Andrew Eldritch is overrated.
A tiny bit through that, I should say, because in some type of way they try to do this hype, and he have really not coming out with directly new things, but everybody that already know me know that Sisters of Mercy is my band number 1, because that was the band I discovered goth when I was a very young person in the 80s. So yeah, I can understand this overrated thing about Andrew Eldritch, but also he's a big goth person in that type of way too, so we can't disclaim that either.
I wouldn't say that he's not intelligent or talented. I don't think those things are overrated. I do think that he has an air of snobbery, and I'm not sure if...
And I think that thing that Lady Rowena said about snobbery, I think that might be a bit of true in that too, because if you read different books about Sisters of Mercy, especially when it comes to Andrew Eldritch, and you're gonna see those controversy between old members and that type of things. So you understand that he's not an easy person to deal with very strong thoughts about himself, and he can do whatever to let his band keep the name or that type of things too. He wanted his own way, and that he gonna be like the big star, they're gonna decide everything, and he wanted to be a rock and roll star and not a goth star, if you know what I mean.
That's his personality or his stage persona. I would like him more if he wasn't so obnoxious. Number 7, I don't like vampires, of course.
That's truly false, because I love vampires. Which goth doesn't? You have to show me that person, because I love vampires. Maybe I am one. You never know.
That's false. I love vampires. Number 8, I don't like clubs. Now,
that is also depending on which type of club. If it's goth clubs, most of the time I do love them, but we don't have that many anymore. I haven't been on one for a very long time, and I do miss that type of things from my youngest days. And there the video went off, so I need to go back and see what happened. I got some bug coming now, so it's refused to go here. So we have to see if we can find it where we were, because now it's refused to show where we were. So I'm gonna have to pause this video and try to get back to the video. So we'll be back soon. Sorry for some issues. It's my phone that for some reason that just broke it. So we're gonna continue and hope we are in the right place.
Of course, that's false. I love vampires. Number 8, I don't like clubs. Now, while that's true to an extent, clubs are noisy, difficult to get to and from.
If you talk about the mainstream clubs, I don't like them at all. But that is mainly because of the people there. I still dress more goth when I go out, even on an ordinary club. And the people I got there is ridiculous. I don't know how many times in my younger days they came and asked if I was like a live gamer player, whatever you call it, that did the Vampire of the Masquerade or something, because how I was dressed and something like that. They thought I was strange. And I thought it was strange, and I did often not play the music I liked anyway, so.
And the drinks are extortionate. But naturally, I hold a certain affection for places like Slimelight and Firebug with their spellbound nights. So again, a partially true one. I don't like many clubs. Number 9, I'm dating a goth. More than true.
That is false, because everybody that have followed me for a while know that my Englishman, Trevor, is a metalhead, so sorry. But he can listen to goth too. He had playlists with goth music too, so that's good.
In that I am in a relationship with a goth, but I think our relationship has evolved beyond just dating.
And it's the same case here. It's way after dating stage too, because we have lived together for many years now, since he moved, especially since he moved back to Sweden, moved to me in Sweden. So it's not really dating.
Number 10, I don't like graveyards. Absolutely.
I love graveyards. I have always done that, even as a child, and I like to even play in them by but with respect, of course. It was not like I did something on the graves, but I love to play around there. I love to go watching all the tombstones, how the graves looks like, compare the different days, how old people were. I was so fascinated of everything and the environment, and it always kept me calm. I was never afraid of any spirits, any ghosts, or whatever, because I never been afraid of that type of things. So for me, I love graveyards, I still do, but I wish I could be more to them than I am nowadays.
Absolutely false. I love graveyards. In fact, cemeteries are one of the locations that I recommend in my Gothic Day Trips Reel series. 11. Blood makes me queasy. Well, I suppose...
Yeah, blood can make you crazy because you never know. Have you thought about how little blood it takes to make it look very messy? Think of that. And there are some werewolves and vampires that have a very bad manner when it comes to drinking and eating. And zombies too. Never forgot that.
Drinking vast amounts of blood would make me queasy, yes, that's true. But sight of blood doesn't bother me at all.
I don't have a direct problem with that. It's more like if it's very disgusting wounds and that type of things, so that can be. But I guess you get used to that type of stuff too if you should watch it every day. But I don't work like a nurse or something, so sometimes things can look a bit gross, but it's not like I should back off and feel dizzy or something over it. It's more like, okay, this look gross.
False. However, I am squeamish about nail beds and eye injuries. Number 12, I am scared of spiders. Again.
Yes, I am. I'm really scared. But it's not that scared, so I'm gonna die if I see a tiny spiders. It's more of those bigger ones that is really creepy. So I'm really happy that I don't have to live, like, for an example, in Australia, because that should really kill me. I shouldn't want to wake up and try to find out if a spider had come into my clothes or my shoes or something, because that's terrible. And even inside the house or something, and they're very poisonous too, so...
And this is debatable. I would say it's false. I can dispatch most spiders from my home, but often I leave them to their own devices because they vacuum up all the other bugs I don't like. However, if I was to wake up with an Australian bird-eating spider on my face, I would give it very different treatment to your average harvest spider.
Same here, Lady Romana. Definitely the same.
Number 13. Ooh, I don't like haunted houses. Completely.
I love haunted houses. And I would want to go to more that is famous for it, because you can go to some. I have seen things happening in some places I've been to. I have felt things too. But I should want to go to one that is really haunted in that type of way that freaks the ordinary people at least. Because that should be interesting to see with your own eyes what's really going on.
False. If I could live in one or at least stay the night in one, I would love that. Ghosts are just people that haven't moved.
And there is places that you actually can stay over the night that is haunted. I should want to try to do that and see if I should dare to stay a whole night. I can be very tough now in front of the camera because I've never been in that type of situation. But it should be interesting to see, do I dare stay or should I run away after a certain time?
What's there to be frightened of? Well, unless they're a particularly nasty or insane person, then we might have a few problems. Number 14, I still check Hot Topics clearance rail.
No, I don't. And we didn't even have Hot Topics over here. So the closest we come is like a Shock that was that type of boutique in Gothenburg. And I think they had in Stockholm and in Malmö too. But nowadays, I think they only have like on internet, and it's not that much. It started from the beginning, was a lot of goth stuff, but then it went more like emo and that type of mainstream type of was popular with the youngsters back then. So the goth things was pushed in the corner in one part of the shop, and it was no longer interesting for us to get there if you didn't just want to have some crazy hair color or crazy lenses or some type of makeup that was from Stargazer, for an example, or belts, because they had a lot of belts too, of course.
Now, false in that we don't actually have Hot Topic where I live. However, if there was one, even if the stock was a little bit juvenile and not really my style, I would probably check out of habit. It would be true if the circumstances were right. Number 15, I've never read Dracula.
I have read Dracula more than once, and then we haven't even calculated in all the movies. in different versions about it. So yeah, which goth have missed to read about Dracula? That would be very strange.
Absolutely false. Of course I've read Dracula. I've read many of the Gothic classics. I also have The Historian and Dracul on my to-read list. I actually have some Gothic literature recommendations in a series of reels I've created.
And to just mention in this case, I have been to Whitby, where Bram Stoker took a lot of the inspirations to for Dracula. And one of my dreams is actually go to Transylvania and stay on the castle that nowadays is like Dracula's castle. But we know that is not the real deal. But we can always be there because it's still a big thing. And they're gonna do an amusement park there in Transylvania too. So that should be interesting because I think it should be in a Dracula theme. So that is on the bucket list for sure.
Go check out my YouTube shorts for those. Finally, number 16. I think Bela Lugosi's song by Bauhaus is long and boring.
Actually, that is one of the songs that I do like, but I can agree with a certain point. It is a bit long too. And I think they actually have some that is much better, like Dark Entries, for example, or She's in Parties.
Absolutely true. In fact, I think I mention it in my Ungoth Confessions tag video. Well, I hope you enjoyed getting to know a little bit more about.
So this was not the whole video with Lady Rowena. So if you want to see it without me talking and disturbing and everything, so you can go and check even the last minutes of it. But this was my answer because she was actually tagging me and some other goth YouTubers too. And I do hope you like it. And before I go, I want to show you today's outfit that is partly thrifted, or most of it is actually thrifted. So I'm gonna change direction to make it easier to show, and I'll be back soon. So I'm back with today's outfit. That is actually, most of the things are thrifted, but some is bought from start, and some of the jewelry is my own. So all my bracelets are my own, and the longest rosary one is my own. But then I actually thrifted this pearl chain that is very long, so I did it in 2 wraps. And then I have this Gothic Beauty magazine box jewelry with the bat wings. I didn't take on any earrings or something today because I didn't feel for it. And I have arm warmers, but they are actually from a top I bought. So they were connected with some hooks before, but I didn't like the top parts. I think it was too tight, so I gave that bit away when I was younger. But I kept this bit because I thought it could be really cool. And you see, they are a little that type of messy style that I did like with some of the kill stuffings. And I think I even bought something from Shein with the same type of structure and do it. They are a little bit too loose nowadays, so I might have to put in something that tighten them a bit, or I have to just sew them in so they stay in place because I prefer to have them longer. The top I have under is actually thrifted too, and it's very short. As you can see, it stops already here, so that's why I prefer to put on some arm warmers. And then we come to the next thrift. I think it's actually a dress. I can't show that much right now, but I can show a little better soon. And then I got this elastic belt that is bought, and I think it's from Shein. And I have this thrifted shawl, whatever you call it, that I have done like a knot. And then I have ordinary stockings. So this is the outfit that you can see is mainly thrifted. And why I did buy this dress was I have been watching those skirts with this type of pattern. I used to have this type of pattern when I was younger during the 2000s. And I had them in different colors and I love them. And I couldn't find really a skirt right now that fitted. But I was hoping this size that was a medium that I bought today when I filmed this one. So when you see this, this is around 1 week older. So I thought, okay, I give it a try. And it's from Divine, and that is from H&M, or like we say, Hennes & Mauritz, H&M. And I didn't realize there was a zipper in this part, but I could succeed. It's a little tight over my boobies, but it's okay-ish. It's a little bit short too. I am 5'8" or 173 centimeters, but it's still very cute. And you can put together it with whatever you feel for. And I think this was an amazing type of thing to show that I do thrift too. And I was actually away and gave away a lot of things to the thrift shop too, because they are working and sell things for giving that to children in different situations, not just in Sweden. So I thought it goes to a good cause too. And this was all for this time. And if you're new to my channel, like a lot of different things, please consider to subscribe, press the notification bell at the same time so you don't miss anything. And for all darklings and returners, love you all. Thank you for your support. You are the best. And don't forget to give me likes and comment. But if you don't like my content, swipe away to the next one. You don't have to be rude and not showing respect, because we are all different and this world is still so mad anyway. So we don't need more of that. We need positivity, like Lucky says, the Victorian Vampire Graveyard. And of course, I want you to go to Lady Rowena's channel too, that tagged me for this thing. And else, stay safe, stay weird, and be yourself or whatever. Now I totally forgot how I ended my videos, but you know what I mean. Else, have a great weekend and goodbye. Love you all. Thanks for watching. Bye.